Let's start. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadati Swapadantikam Vandevam Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamana Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tantam Sajivam Sadhaitam Savadaitam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapati Gopi Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Kundavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Evi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatari Bhasya Krupa Sindhu Eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Visabhutene Prabhupada Shri Girirajaya Swamini Suvattara Raspihani Bhakti Shakmadayini Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Visabhutene Shri Girirajaya Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayani Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Girim Shri Guru Dev Hare Krishna. So we are not going to go back on the previous verses. I think we have understood very well now what is Vivartavad, what is Parinamvad, God, Parinamvad, or yeah, what it refers to. Lost. Parinam and Vivartavad, what it means for the devotees. So we are not going to go back on this. So we will just move on now. Next, 120. Avichintya Shakti. Avichintya Shakti Yutta Shri Bhagavan Ichhaya Jagad Rupe Paya Parinam. The Supreme Person Godhead is opulent in all respects. Therefore, by his inconceivable energies, he has transformed the material cosmic manifestation. Tathapi achintya shakye bhaya avikar prakrita chintamanita he drishtanta yidhari. Using the example of a stone, which by its energy turns iron to gold and yet remains the same, we can understand that although the Supreme Person of Godhead transforms his invariable energies, he remains unchanged.
Hare Krishna Mataji, which text?
123, 25, I'm now on 25, 125.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Ratna Rashihaya Chintamani Hete Tathapi Hamani Rahe Swarupe Avite. Although a touchstone produces many varieties of valuable jewels, it nevertheless remains the same. It doesn't change its original form. What is this referring to? Is referring to It's an analogy to describe something.
I think it's the
This is-
supreme.
This is that
Although a lot of somebody does it. I'm sorry.
Who's answering? What is this analogy referring to?
it refers to that Purnasa Purnam, that the Lord is complete, no matter how many complete entities come out of him, he still remains complete.
What is this referring to? This analogy of Chintamani. What is it referring to? Who's the touchstone?
The Lord.
The Lord. And what are the transformations?
The different energies, the different.
What are the
The
jewels? What are the jewels?
The jivas.
The different, yeah.
The
different
energies.
entities. Yes, I said different energies, Mata.
The energies. All right, this is the analogy. That the touchstone remains the same. Right? Using the example of a touchstone, which by its energy turns iron to gold and yet remain the same. All right? We can understand that although the Supreme Person Godhead transforms his innumerable energies, he remains unchanged.
Oh,
All right?
yeah, that's what we say.
Although a touchstone produces many varieties of variable energies, jewels, because the touchstone has some energy, and this energy is producing different types of jewels. All right? The touchstone is not changing. All right? Chikala, can you repeat? Just to check, just to check. Whether we are together. Because if we just go on reading and we're not understanding that, it's no use.
जैसे पारसमणि चिंतामणि पत्थर लोहे को सोना बना देता है, फिर भी वो चेंज नहीं होता, वैसे ही भगवान की अनेक शक्तियां हैं, तो वो चेंज होते, भगवान चेंज नहीं होते। मतलब भगवान से इतनी शक्ति निकलने के बाद भी भगवान में परिवर्तन नहीं आता, भगवान 100% वैसे ही पूर्ण रहते हैं।
Yes, so just as the touchstone is fixed, similarly the Supreme Lord is fixed, but his energies are changing, right? So with his energy, right, with his energy, different varieties of other energies are being produced. All right? 7. Prakrita vastute yadi achintya shakti hai Ishvarera achintya shakti ithe ki vishmai. If there is such inconceivable potency in material objects, why should we not believe in the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Person Godhead? So a touchstone, if the touchstone is itself transforming into jewels, it would mean that the touchstone will disappear and cease to exist. Right? So, this argument by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that if an ordinary touchstone remains the same, even though it is producing so many different varieties of jewels, then what to speak of the Supreme Lord, who has inconceivable energies? Is it clear? Okay. The argument of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described in this verse can be very easily understood even by a common man if he simply thinks of the activities of the sun, which has been giving off unlimited amounts of heat and light since time immemorial, and yet has not even slightly decreased in power. Modern science believes that it is by ascension that the entire cosmic manifestation is maintained. And actually, one can see how the actions and reactions of sunshine maintain order throughout the universe. The growth of vegetations and even the rotation of the planets take place due to the heat and light of the sun. Sometimes, therefore, modern scientists consider the sun to be the original cause of creation, not knowing that the sun is only a medium, for it is also created by the supreme energy of the Supreme Person Godhead. Aside from the sun and the touchstone, there are many other material things that transform the energy in different ways and yet remain as they are. It is not necessary, therefore, for the original cause, the Supreme Person Godhead, to change due to the changes or transformations of his different energies. So Prabhupada is giving one more example or analogy about the Supreme Lord being fixed and the energies are transforming. What is that analogy?
The sun.
Yeah, what is the sun doing?
He's giving heat and light to everybody, but it still remains the same.
So the sun is giving heat and light, and then what more?
By
Produces
because of the sun, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
वनस्पति उगाता है, produces vegetables. It produces vegetables also.
Yeah. So the heat and light is causing the growth of vegetables. So it is transforming. So light, heat of the sun and the light of the sun is causing a transformation, meaning the heat and light is itself getting transformed and becoming what? Vegetables. All right. And then, and what more is it becoming? What more is happening from the sun?
Rotation of the planets also take place.
Yes, that we didn't know. So the light, so it looks like the sun, right, is due to the sun that the planets are rotating. All right, whatever we see in the sky. I don't know whether we see the very hear of them. Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn. So it's because of the rotation. That's why I heard that this eclipse, eclipse of moon and eclipse of sun, it marks the next phase for the year. What the year will be like, right? What it will bring. So those who can read it can tell us how this year will be. How much heat will be there, how much light will be there, how much water will be there, right? Whether the earth will shake, what will collapse underwater, right? Speaking of transformations, so the sun is causing all these transformations. So this is an example of how the Supreme Lord, even the sun is transformation of what? Transformation of what? Sun.
Supreme energy of the Supreme Personality.
Yes, the sun itself is the transformation of what? Supreme Person Godhead himself?
Effulgence of Supreme Personality.
Hmm?
Effulgence of
The energies.
energy.
Right? The sun is a transformation of the different energies of the Supreme Person Godhead. So the Supreme Person Godhead remains fixed, not changing. His energies are causing all these other transformations. He remains the same fixed Purusha. Doesn't change. So all the enjoyment in this world is due to his energies. Other material or spiritual. The falsity of Sripad Shankaracharya's explanation of Vivartavad and Parinamvad has been detected by the Vaishnava Acharyas, especially Jiva Goswami, whose opinion is that actually Shankara did not understand the Vedanta Sutra. In Shankara's explanation of one sutra, Anandamaya Vyasa, he has interpreted the affix Maya with such word jugglery that this very explanation proves that he had little knowledge of the Vedanta Sutra, but simply wanted to support his impersonalism through the aphorism of the Vedanta philosophy. But didn't tell us what he said, so I can't speak more on it. In this connection, Srila Jiva Goswami cites the phrase Brahma Pucham Pratishtha, Taittiriya Upanishad 2.5, which gives Vedic evidence that Brahman is the origin of everything. In explaining this verse, Sripad Shankaracharya interpreted various Sanskrit words in such a way that he implied, according to Jiva Goswami, that Vyasadeva had very little knowledge of higher logic. Such unscrupulous deviation from the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra has created a class of men who, by word jugglery, try to derive various indirect meanings from the Vedic literature, especially the Bhagavad Gita. One of them has even explained that the word Kurukshetra refers to the body. Such interpretations implied, however, that neither Lord Krishna nor Vyasadeva had a proper sense of word usage or etymological adjustment. They need one to assume that since Lord Krishna could not personally sense the meaning of what he was speaking, and Vyasadeva didn't know the meaning of what he was writing, Lord Krishna left his book to be explained later by the Mayavadis. Such interpretation merely proves, however, that their proponents have very little philosophical sense. Do you understand what Prabhupada is saying here? Understand what Prabhupada is saying here?
He's being very sarcastic.
What is he saying?
What
वो
he's
कहते
saying
हैं ये
is
शरीर
that
एक कुरुक्षेत्र है।
Hmm?
वो कहते हैं शरीर एक कुरुक्षेत्र है और कृष्ण को भी नहीं पता वो क्या बोल रहे हैं, व्यासदेव जी को नहीं पता वो क्या लिख रहे हैं।
No. So meaning that the Shastra are completely ambiguous. Don't know what they are talking, and then we small human beings have to, interpret what's written. Instead of wasting one's time falsely deriving such indirect meanings from the Vedanta Sutra and other Vedic literatures, one should accept the words of these books as they are. In presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is, therefore, we have not changed the meaning of the original words. Similarly, if one studies the Vedanta Sutra as it is, without whimsical and capricious adulteration, one can understand the Vedanta Sutra very easily. Srila Vyasadeva therefore explained the Vedanta Sutra, beginning from the first Sutra, Janmani Asya Yataha, in his Srimad Bhagavatam 1.11. Janmadi Asya Yaton Vayad Itaratas Charteshvagigya Swara. I meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, the transcendent reality, who is the prime cause of all causes, from whom all manifested universes arise, in whom they dwell, and by whom they are destroyed. I meditate upon that eternally effulgent Lord, who is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations and yet is fully independent. The Supreme Person Godhead knows very well how to do everything perfectly. He's abhigya, always fully conscious. The Lord therefore says in the Bhagavad Gita that he knows everything past, present, and future, but that no one but a devotee knows him as he is. Therefore, the absolute truth, the person Godhead, is at least partially understood by devotees of the Lord. But the Mayavadi philosophers, who unnecessarily speculate to understand the Vishnu form, to understand the absolute truth, simply waste their time. Okay, I'm just going forward, otherwise you will be upset. Because if I'm going to open each and every sentence, revise, re-revise, then we'll get upset. So I'm just going forward. Text 1 to 8. Pranavase Mahavakya Vedera Nidana Ishvara Swarupa Pranava Sarva Vishwadha. The Vedic sound vibration Omkar, the principal word in the Vedic literatures, is the basis of all Vedic vibrations. Therefore, one should accept Omkar as the sound representation of the Supreme Person Godhead and the reservoir of the cosmic manifestation. All right, now Devotee, you read. Paragraph.
In the Bhagavad Gita, the glories of Omkara are described as follows. Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anushmaran yaprayati tyajan deham sayati paramam gatim. This verse indicates that Omkara or Pranava is the direct representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay. Sorry, I'm supposed to be the doctor. I forgot. 1 minute, 1 minute. Was calling. Hare Krishna, 15 minute में ये जो मेरा class चालू है, 15 minute में Hare Krishna. I forgot. I told them 5 o'clock. All right. Sorry.
Mataji, I'm starting again.
Yeah. Sorry. I completely forgot.
This verse indicates that Omkara or Pranava is a direct representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if at the time of death one simply remembers Omkara, he remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is therefore immediately transferred to the spiritual world. Omkara is the basic principle of all Vedic mantras, for it is a representation of Lord Krishna, understanding of whom is the ultimate goal of the Vedas. as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedeshte sarvam aham eva vede. Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand these simple facts explained in the Bhagavad Gita, and yet they are very proud of being Vedantist. Sometimes, therefore, we refer to the Vedanti philosophers as Vedantis, those who have no teeth. V means without and Danti means possessing teeth. The statements of Shankara philosophy, which are the teeth of the Mayavadi philosophers, are always broken by the strong arguments of the Vaishnava philosophers, such as the great Acharyas, especially Ramanujacharya, Sripada Ramanujarya, and Madhavacharya, break the teeth of the Mayavadi philosophers, who can therefore be called Vedantis toothless.
Okay, so Vaishnavas break the break the teeth of the Vedantists, right?
As,
Okay.
as mentioned above, the transcendental vibration, Omkara, is explained in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, verse 13. Om iti ekasharam brahma vaharam mam anushmaran. Yaprayati tyajan deham sa yati paramam gatim. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. If one actually understands that Omkara is the sound representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether he chants Omkara or the Hare Krishna mantra, the result is certainly the same. The transcendental vibration of Omkara is further explained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 17. Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkara riksama yajur evacha. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am the Rik, the Sam, and the Yajur Vedas.
Indira Radha, you can continue. Read.
Haribo, yes. Similarly, this transcendental sound Om is further explained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 23. Om Tat Sat Iti Nirdesho Brahmanaste Vidasmita Brahmanastena Vedascha Yagnascha Vihita Pura. From the beginning of creation, the three syllables Om Tat Sat have been used to indicate the Supreme Personality, the Supreme Absolute Truth, Brahman. They were uttered by Brahmanas while chanting Vedic hymns and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Throughout all the Vedic literature, the glories of Omkar are specifically mentioned. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his thesis Bhagavat Sandarbha, says that in the Vedic literature, Omkar is considered to be the sound vibration of the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only this vibration of transcendental sound can deliver a conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. Sometimes Omkar is also called the deliverer, Tara. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the Omkar vibration. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Therefore, Omkar has been described by the great commentator Sridhar Swami as Tarang Pura, the seed of deliverance from the material world. Since the Supreme Godhead is absolute, His holy name and His sound vibration, Omkar, are as good as He Himself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the holy name or Omkar, the transcendental representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has all the potencies of the personality of Godhead.
Huh?
Nam
Shashi.
Namakari.
Sorry. Yeah, you can go on.
Nam Namakari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatarpita Niyamitaha Smaranena Kalaha. All potencies are invested in the holy vibration of the holy name of the Lord. There is no doubt that the holy name of the Lord, or Omkar, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. In other words, anyone who chants Omkar and the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, immediately meets the Supreme Lord directly in His sound form. In the Narad Pancharatra, it is clearly said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, personally appears before the chanter who engages in chanting the Ashtakshara or 8-syllable mantra, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. A similar statement in the Mundukya Upanishad declares that whatever one sees in the spiritual world is all an expansion of the spiritual potency of Omkar. On the basis of all the Upanishads, Srila Jiva Goswami says that Omkar is the supreme absolute truth and is accepted as such by all the acharyas and authorities. Omkar is beginningless, changeless, supreme, and free from deterioration and external contamination. Omkar is the origin, middle, and end of everything. And any living entity who thus understands Omkar attains the perfection of spiritual identity in Omkar. Omkar, being situated in everyone's heart, is Ishwar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 1861. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Vidi Deshe Arjuna Tispati. Omkar is as good as Vishnu because Omkar is as all-pervasive as Vishnu. One who knows Omkar and Lord Vishnu to be identical no longer has to lament or hanker. One who chants Omkar no longer remains a Shudra, but immediately comes to the position of a Brahman. Simply by chanting Omkar, one can understand the whole creation to be one unit or an expansion of the energy of the Supreme Lord. Idam hi vishwam bhagavan ivetaro yato jagat sthana niruddha sambhava. The Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is himself this cosmos, and still he is aloof from it. From him, only this cosmic manifestation has emanated. In him it rests, and unto him it enters after annihilation. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.20. Although one who does not understand concludes otherwise, Srimad Bhagavatam states that the entire cosmic manifestation is but an expansion of the energy of the Supreme Lord. Realization of this is possible simply by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Omkar.
Yes,
One
sorry, I have to stop here. So this is the first section about Omkar. And now the Prabhupada will give more the understanding and holy name, which will take time to discuss. So we'll continue that next week. How to do it. All right. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.